The founding president of the Black Power, Reitu Harris, has died. Reitu Harris established the gang in the 1970s, attracting members who'd been in state care and felt alienated from their marae and iwi. To Manu Korihi reporter Shannon Haunui-Thompson looks back on his life.
Reitu Harris grew up in Rotorua. He moved to Wellington but found it hard to adapt to city life until he found other young Māori men who were in a similar boat. In 1970, Mr Harris and 6 others formed a gang they called the Black Bulls, which later changed its name to Black Power. Black Power life member and friend Dennis O'Reilly says many of the gang members had been in state care.
The contemporary New Zealand Māori gang really was born in those social welfare homes. That youth rebellion of the 1970s and 80s was sort of looking for a way of reasserting oneself and finding a mana or dignity in that. And I think Reitu gave that to people.
Mr O'Reilly says while many Black Power members were young, rebellious and had committed offences, they were not bad people. And Reitu Harris, he says, gave them a sense of whānau.
Even though we have been positioned as being outside of the law and even against the law, in fact, he gave a leadership that you would, I suppose these days, describe in terms of whānau ora or potentiality rather than pathology.
Jared Gilbert, the author of the book Patched, The History of Gangs in New Zealand, says Reitu Harris had a social conscience and fundamentally moulded the Black Power's principles. He says Reitu Harris wouldn't let Black Power use the swastika symbol like the mongrel mob.
He made no bones about it that dealing marijuana was a fairly key component of the gang scene. He wasn't a saint by any stretch of the imagination, but within his realm, he was a very significant figure and on balance, relative to within the gang scene, an immensely positive force.
Eugene Ryder of Black Power Wellington says Reitu Harris created a modern-day hapu and worked alongside politicians like Labour's Maturata and a former National Prime Minister.
He also had a good relationship with Rob Muldoon when Muldoon was in power. You know, he wasn't shy about expressing the needs of the people in the cities, the people that he knew. So through his relationship with the likes of Muldoon, and that he was able to secure employment and, income for those in the cities.
A relationship the Black Power Wellington chapter honoured by taking his body to Parliament yesterday.
We took him for a ride around to his old haunt, and we ended up on the steps of Parliament, where we lay him down and did a haka. It was a demonstration of Reitu's mana, not only within the Black Power community, but in the community in general.
Reitu Harris's funeral is expected to be held tomorrow at Rākei ao Marae in Rotuiti. Mo te hōtaka o te ahi pōnei ko Shannon Haunui-Thompson. Ahau.